What's Pappy up to? Well, my fridge isn't working backwards, but I am. By the time I thought to make this video, I was already had it apart. So we're going to work backwards from the end to the beginning. I'm fixing it. It was all frozen up. Here we go. All right, for those that might actually want to get some information out of this, that's the model of the Frigidaire I have. And it was all frozen up, which was a defrost, was draining out onto the floor. What happens is everything gets iced up underneath that, and I'll show you a drain hole up there. And this was all iced. So like I said, I already got it cleaned up, thawed out. I used a low setting on my heat gun. You can use a hairdryer, works just as good to melt it. There's the ice. That's the whole chunk that was in the bottom. Plus underneath where the drain is, which I'm going to show you next, there's the drain right there. You can kind of see in that circle, and that hole iced up there. So if that drain gets all iced up and plugged or something debris in it, then you're in trouble. And that's what happened. So a little more heat and ice. And one of the things, there's other videos out there you can find. You use hot water and a syringe to squirt down in there and some vinegar to clear it. But there's the tray, and back in there you really can't see it, but there's a little bit of water coming down through now. And like I said, it's clear. Get all the debris cleared, and then you're ready to go back together. Like I said, working backwards here, so I've already got that all done. And one of the first things we got to do is get this sheet metal. It's very flexible. And in the back here, first of all, there's a couple wires, one down there, one up top. And they clip onto the sheet metal. They're really ground wires, I think. And there's also a test port there. I'll show you that. I'll put that in too. And, but like I said, flex, flex, flex. And then here, I'm hooking up that one clip wire right there. And then we'll wrestle it around some more. Biggest, hardest part, and I do have the front door off, as you can see. We'll talk about that later. But just getting it to flex into place. And then here, I'm putting that top clip on. And then I'll still also get that test port pushed through. It's a little plastic clip. And the reverse of that, of course, is just squeezing the little two tabs, and that clip, that test port pops right out of there. And those two clips just slide off. It's a very flexible piece, but pretty flimsy. A little hard to get it to set in place. And the bottom end of it, when I was disassembling, was frozen in there. So again, had to get the heat on it. Like I said, a hairdryer will work, or a low temp on your heat gun if you have one. That's what I used. You gotta be a little careful not to overheat, but a lot of fiddling, squeezing, pushing, even using my screwdriver there. I don't know if you saw that along the bottom to get it to finally fit in. A couple screws, slap those in. They aren't very tight. They're very low tension. So got those two in. And then the next thing that happens is this cover, which goes over the fan up there, and also covers that test port. Just 3 screws. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Get those 3 screws in, and then, like I said, hardest part's working around these rails. And then quick put the drawer in. It just pops right in there, and then the door. And the reason I have the door off, okay, here's how the door installs. I'll talk about that in a minute. There's a pin right there on each side that goes into, not there, but right there into that hook. And then you can see the 2 screw holes. So there's just 2 screws on each side, and dropping it on this pin just makes it pretty easy peasy. Little fiddling around, holding the rails, pushing up with my foot, and then just a couple screws on each side. Once you get those in, you're all done with that. And then here's what I'm talking about. Remove, this is the manual, remove the basket by tilting it forward. And not so much. For one, mine had different retainer clips, so you can see I'm trying to showing you. You can tip it up all you want. It will not come out of there. So instead, I took the door off, which had to come off anyways, but that's the easy way to get that drawer out. Those clips are right there, and I played around, couldn't figure out how to get those clips out. So, and door comes off, you can get it right out. Last thing, throw the basket in, and pretty much it's done. All cleaned up, all thawed out, drain's good. This is the front grill. Thought I'd give you a quick look at that. These are the clips, there's 3 of them, and if you see them, they're actually, you got to push the grill up to get it off the unit, and then down, of course, for installation. That's what it looks like when it's in there. Like I said, open the freezer door, roll it out, and then you can push that right up. Easy peasy, all done backwards.